back in the DMV area. And happy March 1st. I don't know why I wanted to say 4th first, but happy March 1st. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I was born to walk through the fire, who my mama raised me to be. Hey, hey. And if you knew my grandmother, you know just what I mean. Hey, hey. I was born for this mission. I do not need your permission to be who I was born to be. That's me. That's me. So I'm at the park. The park is named after an Indian tribe. Also, the area is named after it. Let's see if I can get you to flip around. Here we go. So, this is the beginning of the end. A sabbatical that I started this time last year, really in the month of February, got into the thick of things in the month of March. But this is that time of the year, and I feel its conclusion. I feel the ending. I feel the closing of that quest, closing of that task. That's an item I'll be able to put a pin in soon. I'll stand on the bridge for a minute. So, you know, it's a signal, a sign goes off. Things happen that indicate it's time to do certain things. The seasons change, and the way you get signals is that there's, some leaves that start to fall when it's fall. There's some flowers that start to spring up when it's spring. There's some, and I'm gonna turn it around so you can see exactly where I am anyway. There are some um, signs of life that break through the snow and the ice, and just showing you again this is where I'm at. So, but I'm starting to feel like, okay, so from Philly to Florida was one of the first leg of the sabbatical, and then from Florida back to the DMV, or DC proper, as I say sometimes. And I say that because I'll be standing on DC soil. Now, also, this is the place where I began that dream of wanting to stay close to the water, to get to cleaner water, to be in a better place, vibrational wise, to surround myself and folks that were of like mind when needed. And that's what happened. And so in this past year, things have gone full freaking circle. This is right next to the marina where my uncle used to keep his place. Yes, yes. So these are some familiar waters. I went through a familiar route, meaning I stopped by to see people that those parts as I traveled through. Just like when I went to the voyage for Forbidden Knowledge, when I was going to one of their activities down in Florida in 2020. And so in 2023, 2024, and now 2025, and I was about to stop at 25. 26, I've been on a voyage, I've been traveling, doing my van camping thing. But what I wanted to speak on was the ending of this sabbatical. It's feeling like the winding down, the full circle. I'm in a whole new vehicle. I'm on another mission because I've gotten connected to some travel resources. I've gotten some of my wellness spa travel excursions, adventures, and so on. I have 3 planned before December. I'll start circulating flyers. But the whole thing is that the sabbatical was about, okay, so my daughter's 33rd birthday initiated me to look into, because when I found out that the mountain, Stone Mountain, was on the 33rd parallel, it started to light up some dots across the landscape for me, the horizon. It put some, so with those two things and them being just a few weeks apart, I began to research some things into my background. And like I said, I'm at um, a park that has some Indian roots. Oh, Gosling got me. Okay, a spider somewhere near me or on me. So, but anyway, yeah, I've been running across a lot of tribal lands and tribal related kinds of things that gave me, oh, there's a plane that's about to go over. That gave me the notion that I was on to something because of the places that I would end up being. So this must mean it's time for me to go back into the vehicle, although that plane is almost over us. Okay. So yeah, I'm ended up on a lot of tribal lands. I'm ended up in places that mean things to my journey, that means things to my full life voyage. And so I ended up, what was, the beginning was, when I started in Philly, it was again familiar grounds. I was tending to a family of folks that wanted wellness services. I ended up um, meeting some really, really powerful people from start to finish in that household, that family of folks that I tended to. That was like at the top of the top of some of my top stuff. Not going to go too deep into some of this because of, you know, just how I am sometimes. Like, they know who they are. And so I see some folks on there. Let me get inside of the vehicle so that the brightness will allow me to be able to see the screen. So I hope you guys got enough of the outdoors view that I was giving. So who's on here with me? How you doing? I'm doing good. One Love and Wellness, Ashe. To Laren 555, to Oak Ridge, extremist, get Oak Ridge, taxidermist. Okay, One Love and Wellness. I'm doing good. And then, yes, you said hi. I said hi. Alajamness 8910. You guys, I'm out in nature. I'm tapping in. I'm turning on. I'm tuning in. Had to put my feet on some shores, some the shores of the waters. Isn't that something? It's got a sh twang to it, even when it doesn't have the h in there. Shore, sure as well. So yeah, so I've been on a lot of tribal land lately. I've been in a lot of tribal places. I even went to, along the way, a variety of sacred grounds, things that are like a burial tombs, and oh my gosh, ooh, the largest underwater freshwater spring or something like that. I have to go back and look at all of the details, but I'm telling you, I touched some sacred shores, and along the way, each rung of my sabbatical, my ladder, my lifting, my elevating, my spiritual, mental plane, I really felt like each one of those was a step on the ladder. And this is why I say this, because I'm kind of tuned in as well while I'm talking to you. I didn't come on here with a topic in particular. I asked myself, is this the place that I need to start my my return to, because I went on sabbatical, so I didn't do as many hard happy hours. And while I was at the pinnacle of it, which was, and I say midway, how about that? Not saying it was the pinnacle. Midway was when I was on Stone Mountain. Okay, that was midway of the voyage. But when I came here and I saw that these three books were left here for someone, this is the Mohanda Mohandas Gandhi autobiography, the story of my experiments with truth. And then Doreen Virtue, PhD, best-selling author of Earth Angels, did a book called The Realms of the Earth Angels. This book was sitting here for me. More information for incarnated angels, elementals, wizards, and other light workers. And I'm like, am I supposed to start my come back, the ending of the full circle, lead me, guide me. Let's see. This feels like a library book. And see, it says the African American Catholic hymnal. I would not have known that. Okay, and that's from, it says St. Gabriel's Church. I went to St. Gabriel's Church as a youth. How in the world is a book here from St. Gabriel's Church? And that's the church. I even went to that school, property of St. Gabriel's Church. What? This is an amazing discovery because I didn't see that at first. And this, the last book says, The Tact of Teaching, the meaning of pedagogical thoughtfulness, Max Van Manen. And that was hidden underneath. I don't know what to think of that one, but this is an amazing discovery. And it was just sitting here waiting for me. No, I am not going to add them to my library, but it's beautiful that there is even the opportunity for a library to be here. I would, something tells me to put this one underneath, I mean, on top of these two, but this is how I found it, so I'm leaving it like that. But anyway, so just wanted to show you what the trigger was. What was it that put me in the mindset that it was time, you know, just like I was in route to somewhere else, and on my way there, pulling up, getting ready to park, putting myself in position to be in the best parking space, because if I'm supposed to be there, my space is supposed to be out front. Well, just before I get to that space, somebody almost hits me in a big old pretty Cadillac, too. Ooh, and so I'm like, okay, maybe that's not the route that I need to be considering. Maybe I need to stop, look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. Hey, and that's what I did. I stopped, listened, looked, and something said, nope. It wasn't a big thing, wasn't a loud voice, wasn't, I say something. But, my inner self and I converse often. I consult often. I go within. That inner voice shared that was enough of a symbol to recognize this is not the piece. So I moved on. In my mind, I said, I need to go to some water. I go to some water. Again, a familiar enough place down the street, but I never stopped here at this place. This is the park entry for the shoreline of this waterway. Very small parking lot. Very few people can park here. But it indicated to me, there was enough space. There was an opening. The ways were parted, and I came right in. And where I pulled in was right in front of the bridge. That was the space that was left for me. And that bridge went down to the water. So it just seemed like it was the right place at the right time to tell you that I am winding down the sabbatical and now ready to connect some of the dots. Because as I talk, more and more dots connect, but now more willing to be open about where I come from and what I'm going to. So as I said, travel is a big part of what I'm doing now. And so I became what's called a lifestyle coach. So I'm with an organization it's membership only. But I get discounts every place I look. Things I buy, places I go. Yeah, food too, like Smoothie King and your cell phone. And, these are life hacks that I've learned recently when I started trying to expand my budget. That's something that Citron does. Citron has been a part of my life. It's not on me today. Is it on me today? No. Citron, this is some pearl essence. Citron is what brings that energy to you. There might be some citron on these pieces that a client just gave me. Oh my gosh, this client just gave me these pieces and said I could take them apart, but they look too good to take apart. I hope that the volume is up. Can you hear me? I hope you guys are hearing me. That's the craziest thing. I've been talking all this time, not asking, can you hear me now? But these are some beautiful pieces. I know these are like prayer beads where they're. So I got a light pair of prayer beads, a dark pair of prayer beads, an ankh brace necklace that was made in Ghana. All these are from Ghana with the toko beads and stuff. I'm sorry, I know that was up really, really close. I hope you got a good look. But yes, yes, yes. Hi, Laren, 55, 555, and you the number one responder up here today. What's happening, Captain? Hi, thank you. Thank you for stopping by and joining me for a hot second. But I know I'm kind of long-winded. I don't have anything written out, but I just wanted to make sure that while it seemed like prime pickings, that I put something on the plate and set it out there so that the gods will know that I have that my offering is in gratefulness of this opportunity to be so aligned with what the universe has already prepared for me. So, my circumstances continue to flex, continue to change. I am a mutable sign. I am a Virgo. And being a Virgo, I'm meticulous about the details, but I keep them close to my chest as well. I keep them, in a place where I can myself have access to quick and ready access, but I don't like to put my information out there beforehand. Just to say where I've been treated like a queen, like everybody and their mama, some kind of way. Even when I was in an environment recently that felt like an episode of the Survivor, the survival of the fittest. It made me feel like I was happy that I had watched so many episodes and that I paid so much attention to the winners. What was their tenacity like? So, and Alone, I watch Alone. I watch a number of those kinds of things because, I enjoy my company. I don't mind spending company with other people, but I've begun to enjoy my company so much to the point where it's a preference most times. It's a preference most times. I poke my head out of my tortoise shell every once in a while, and this is one of those moments. So back to the story of the sabbatical, the voyage, the trip. It was so dotted with so many treasures. I've got photographs and I've got videos, but one of those treasures I put on my channel recently about Yaya's World 777. Now, I don't know how to get in touch with her. I don't have any way. I mean, I did something on a social media platform. I don't know her email address. Maybe I am doing the wrong thing when I'm, going towards trying to communicate with her. But it was just to say that I put I thought it was a photo. It was not a photo. I thought I was taking a photo of myself and Anita of Yaya's World. And so when it ended up being a video, I'm like, what? Okay. And so now it reminded me that I actually asked her, hey, season 7, our happy hour, our precious mother love. I'd love to be able to have you as a guest on one of my, so now we're in season 8 because after the sabbatical, but that was at the time, season 7. And she was like, sure, yes. Okay, pleased to meet you, da 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 da. So at some point we'll cross paths. I may even join them in Texas. I was looking at things in a different way of, oh yeah, I'm a SME. I've got, UADs and all kinds of things that, you know, experiences otherworldly beings and so on. Look at me, not talking like myself, but talking like myself. But anyway, I felt like at some point I was, getting a little swelled that I've had some very recent activities of paranormal, like finding these books, when I'm asking for a sign, when I want to know, is this the time? And, it shows up that it's my parking space is straight down the middle, right up front. The books are straight down the middle, right up front. The answers to everything that when I do ask, I get them if I see, if my, you have to have eyes to see and ears to hear. And so the more I tune into, I widen and broaden my scope, you know, like there's a plane that's flying over us now. So, it's telling me, oh, it's a good thing you did get inside because that really didn't affect, so the acoustics are much better in this vehicle. And I wanted to show you those gifts just yesterday. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. And I love things with unks on it. And he's like, just be creative, you know. And they were prayed over, and they were from Africa, and all these things coming together at the same time, saying, girl, you better get up off of some of these jewels and start spilling some beans. Being that I'm a Virgo, Mercury is my home planet, and I'm all about communications. I went to school for broadcast journalism. So, I at some point was discouraged, and this is in my mind, looking at the way that things were spun, the few times that I had an opportunity to have articles published, I saw that, like, my final edit, what I thought was the final edit, was not the final edit. It was tampered with by the time it was presented. And so therefore I didn't feel it was my words, and therefore I did not want to participate. I'm like, you're not going to twist my words and make my truth slant to the direction of whatever the ulterior motive is. So, but now in this place where I am, where I can record myself, where I can be of a organic nature and just express myself. So that's where I'm at now. I've gotten back to that place. I wasn't in that place before. I was really closed mouthed. I was tight lipped. I was close to the vest. I was, my cards weren't up on the table yet. I didn't want to feel like I was revealing too much. Okay, so because the sun is so strong and cut us off, I'll just say one love and wellness, family. Love plus art equals wellness. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for checking in, and I hope to see you guys again soon. I'm sure within the next couple days I will be back, and it's a wrap. One love. Ashe. Peace.